We come to the fourth move in this form, this 8-form sequence. This one's called looking back to eliminate the 5 fatigues and 7 illnesses. Okay, a bit of a long-winded name. Or wise our gazes backwards to eliminate fatigue. Again, something around their names in a lot of the qigong forms. This mainly is in the 8 brocades. It is in other forms as well. But yeah, so this one, we're just taking that motion from the silky movements of the 8 brocades, which is what it means. And basically it's movement at the end of the day. So we're going to add different types of breathing than opposed to the traditional. Unlike the traditional, which breathes into the belly like a balloon, that sort of, in brief, is the sort of more traditional type of qigong breathing. We're going to actually add the Pilates setup with sort of yogic responses within the breathing and hypnotic. So we're going to zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. Again, I'm doing this briefly, really. Not going to go into that a lot more detail with Pilates, but again, going to go into it briefly. Zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. They go together anyway. You can't do one without the other. If you zip up pelvic floor, you're throwing your corset muscle 3 layers deep and tucking the belly button. Or if you tuck in the belly button and throwing your corset muscle, you'll engage pelvic floor. So they go together, but we say that segmentally. Zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals. That'll naturally help you do that. So as you do that now, that'll help you breathe into them lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. And help us use that powerhouse, that girdle strength, the corset muscle, 3 layers deep, in the most efficient manner, what we call the transverse abdominis. You don't have to really know that. As you're zipping up pelvic floor now and scooping out your abdominals, you can just feel that breath coming low and deep to these fish gills, 3D style, organ deep, cell deep, even bone marrow deep into these lower lobes of lungs, the intercostals, the ribs, anywhere but the stomach. Okay, now as you're doing that, unlike the Pilates breath, as we do that now, we breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, which it's a smaller filter through the nose, so that gives us that sort of yogic breathing in with the Pilates. It helps us lengthen the breath even longer. If you're breathing out through the mouth, that wouldn't lengthen the breath as much, but you can lengthen the breath a lot longer in and out through the nose. That more cleansing breath, more yogic breath, that filtering breath, more in and out through the nose. So that's the first yogic response in with the Pilates setup. Okay, and you will naturally find as you're doing that right now, you will find the out breath wants to fall longer than the in breath. Okay, so just let it do that naturally. Okay, you can do even breathing, but we're just letting that out breath fall naturally longer than the in breath. So we naturally want to do that. Okay, don't force anything. You can quadruple it, double it, triple it. Just make the out breath longer than the in breath. Okay, without forcing it too much. Okay, the in breath conscious thought, the out breath subconscious thought. So we're just encouraging these subconscious benefits in the body that are bringing that hypnotic response in with the yogic and the Pilates setup. Okay, you don't have to worry too much about that, what it's doing, etc. You'll just naturally feel that in a beneficial way on a vibrational scale there. Okay, so as you do that now, zip up pelvic floor, scoop out your abdominals, breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, and you'll find that go longer, the out breath. Okay, now you can stick with that, that's perfectly all right. If you want to add a little bit more of the yogic stuff in there, we go for Ujjayi breath, a little bit more advanced yogic breath. If you can't get it, don't worry, just stick to the breathing we just done. So again, we're going to breathe in through the nose, but we're going to grip at the esophagus, and that's going to make this raspy, silky, whistling sound from the back of the throat, nearly sort of Darth Vader breath in a way. Okay, so again, you're breathing in. As you zip up pelvic floor and scoop out your abdominals, and you exhale. And as you can hear that breath, it's like sighing, whistling, silky breath, you know, sort of seashore breath in a way. And you will naturally lengthen the breath even longer than you already have done, especially that out breath. This will stimulate the thyroid gland, which helps with weight control, etc. But we're not too fussed about that. It's going to help us build the heat within the body and burn the fire, and burn all the toxins in the body. So it's really cleansing breath. Okay, so again, and also it will give that mind something to focus on as you do that now. That sort of soft, silky sound. If you can't get that, just, you don't have to add that bit in on. You can just do what we did to start off with. So we're going to calibrate and synchronize that with the motion. The motion is quite an easy one there. You can stand anywhere you like. As with all qigong sort of motions, etc., you go in as deep as you like. So you can, a lot of them, you can add a squat in. I personally wouldn't go no deeper than knees and 9 toes. Okay, or less if you like. Especially if you've got knee problems, I would stick to the old school safe way of knees in line with toes no deeper. Again, there's two subjects to that, but again, I'll not go too much detail with that. Or you can just stand here and do the basic motion. It's a very basic motion, like some qigong sequences are. It's turning the head this way, okay, and coming back. Now again, when you bring the hands in, they come out, and you come back in. I'm going to come here, so I've got a little bit more space. So again, it's you're breathing in and you're exhaling here. Now you can stay still, or you can just turn this head and stay still, or you can literally have a little turn as if you've got a skewer through your head, and you're turning off that skewer to the sides, opening up the chest, breathing in, coming back. As you zip up pelvic floor, scoop back your abdominals now, and you're going to exhale, open out the chest, breathing, come back. It's a exhale, breathing in, coming back, zip up, scoop out your abdominals, navel towards the spine. Get that turn in to get this sternocleidomastoid muscle. Again, that's going to stretch that. The levator scapulae. A few being stretched in there, the neck muscles. Obviously, we're opening up the rotor cuffs here. A few different names there. I'm not going to go into too much detail with them. Opening up the chest. Okay. And again, when I go back, if you want to bring the legs in, you can add a little bit more, make it slightly more athletic in a couple of ways. I'm going to go back and demonstrate that. So again, you can come here, breathe in, think tall, zip up, scoop out your abdominals, and you're going to exhale. And you're going to have a little sort of pivot in the back leg as you turn. Here, open out the chest, breathe in, come back, and you can exhale. That'll save the knees a little bit. Again, as you turn and come back. So it's a exhale, breathing, coming back to center, think tall, be longer on the out breath motion. That's this bit. Exhale, turn the head, and breathing, come back. So you're going to turn the head now as well. Where the head goes, the body naturally goes. As you turn and breathing, come back. And you exhale, breathing, come back. Again, if you want to come wider legs, you can do, or go deeper, optional. You can turn it near enough in sort of lunge type sequence. Watch the knees. Again, any problems with knees, I probably won't go over this version, but again, exhale, you can turn, and breathing, come back. You can exhale, turn, and breathing, come back. Exhale, breathing, come back. Again, they're all going up in levels then. That last one might be a bit dodgy on the knees if you've got any knee problems. So again, just stay to the easier levels. And again, that's working what we call a transverse motion of the body. Basically in everyday life, as you sort of moving around, you've got sort of slight instability. So these sort of micro movements are going on a lot. So again, with Pilates, we're throwing on the corset, zipping up pelvic floor to stabilise against all these little micro movements. But you find a lot of them in the joints are sort of, again, this is overemphasising it, there's a lot of smaller motions, micro movements. The joints are doing this sort of motion with these little micro movements. So having a good core, the transverse abdominis, the corset muscle, We work that by tucking in and zipping up pelvic floor in brief. That is very brief. That helps us stabilise naturally against these little motions in the spine, etc. We've got muscles called multifidus running up the spine, and again, they're all stabilising as well. We throw on this corset and that stabilises all these sort of little micro movements. We're overemphasising what we call the transverse plane of the body, this rotational plane of the body, which is naturally going on in everyday life, with these tiny little micro movements. So we're overemphasising that, especially if you go into the hard levels, we're turning around and coming back. So anything sort of that spiral plane is quite good for posture, but just stay to the lower levels. You've got any sort of problems, you know, or you're quite later on in age, etc., because these are meant to be beneficial to the body, not they want to sort of crop you up with these. Lovely. So that was number 4 of this hypno Pilates yoga qigong sequence based on the 8 brocades. Okay, and we got number 5, snake head swing tail next. Lovely, bang.